Brown ducks that they have at Tractor Supply. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So, and you had them for about a week, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, pretty fun. Hey, everybody. Good morning.
It's Mendez.
It is.
Where is
I'm
he?
excited to see him.
Mendez, I missed you.
Hey, Mendez. Long time no see.
Click the mic and so we can hear you, Mendez.
Better? Yes.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. How are y'all?
We're good. How are you?
Oh, you could complain wouldn't do no good.
Well, that's probably true.
Yeah. Finally got to join a meeting, which is I didn't even get the email till like last 10 minutes.
Really? That's what
weird.
Curtis said. Did y'all get it late?
Yeah.
Very
I did.
interesting. Well, I sent it last night, and
yeah. Well, I have terrible signal out here, as you know.
Well, something have glitched because Curtis said he did not get his either.
Yeah, that's what
night. So I don't know. But anyway, we're all here now, so hopefully everybody's going to join in.
Hopefully.
Hope so. Well, Thomas, hello.
Hey, Thomas. What's up, Holmes?
I haven't seen you in a while.
Is it me or does he look like he just got out of prison or something?
Very dark.
You're not wrong.
But you just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how come nobody has their video on?
No idea.
No idea.
I just woke up and I am eating at the moment, so I don't want to eat in front of people. It's rude.
Everybody has corona hair, so everybody has their hair today. Do what?
I will.
Tommy have a video on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not nobody. I had to poke fun at that.
I do have a video for not coming the first 2 times. First time, my computer stopped working.
Oh, but you're going now, apparently.
Yeah. First time, it stopped working on me, only to work later on that day.
Well, was it your connection?
No. The little laptop just went, like, the screen went fuzzy. So I stopped working completely.
Very interesting.
And the second time, I overslept.
Well, there you go. But not today.
Nope.
I just about overslept today. I mean, I was pretty close. I woke up at 9:30 exactly.
Well, you made it though, and I sent out a remind. Did everybody get the remind?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
You didn't get the remind, Abby?
No, I keep not getting your reminds.
Are you going to the remind the culinary 1920 group or just the culinary arts group?
Yeah, we talked about it last week, and I made sure I was on it.
Yeah.
If I can find you here.
Ugh, I hate ads. So how's everybody been? I haven't seen y'all since the plague.
I know.
I'm good. Just bored.
That's good. Oh, me too. You know, it's hard not having to do any work around here. Like any, I mean, I've gotten all the yard work for my neighbors. I mean, now there's nothing. There was literally nothing to make, and I can't even go down there.
I got that text.
You did? You must just not be in the actual group here. All right.
Well,
I'm making that.
That's not very nice.
Hey, Abby, I haven't heard from you in a fat minute.
Hi.
Fix that.
How are you?
Oh, you know, aches and pains, groans and moans.
I feel ya.
Yup.
So who's working right now?
There's Abby, Thomas, Abby, Sam.
Not working.
Gavin! Oh my gosh! Hello. How are you?
And Gavin just joined.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
They can't see me. They can hear me. I mean,
all kinds of people here today.
I turn off the camera. I don't want to eat a pizza in front of them. I'm hungry. It's rude to eat.
Eating pizza in front of us?
Pizza.
It'd be rude to eat in front of y'all, so it turns off my camera.
I see.
I would. No, me. I'd be the mean one just to eat in front of people.
Yeah, that'd be Thomas.
That's funny.
I'm digging those lights, dog. Those pretty
Thank you.
pretty.
Yeah, that looks great. Very festive for a Tuesday
That's my
morning.
light source, really.
I just have simple
source.
string lights. That's it.
That's great. I need to put
That's
up
my light source.
another backdrop here for excitement. I can put my Eiffel Tower back up, I guess.
Me, first thing I would eat in front of people is bacon.
Oh, so
I knew he was gonna say bacon.
Yep.
your favorite, isn't
Oh,
it?
come on. Eating bacon in front of people, that's how you get enemies.
So
I'm
what's
excited.
what's the new normal that everybody's been doing? You guys have something you've been helping somebody with, or a place you've been going to regularly?
I landscape for my neighbors, which are really white, rich people. I do that, and I stay home and work out. That's about it. Like that's the routine for today.
That's
I don't even landscape all days.
and landscape all day.
Yeah.
That's good.
Pretty much that workout for. I can get pretty good money out of it. We'll see how.
Well, you can social distance while you're doing that, right?
Yeah. Usually it's just me. They'll be inside. I'll be cleaning gutters, yard work, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know people really appreciate that too. That's great.
Yeah.
Very
That
good.
and workout. We finally got a weight bar. We found that, and
Yeah. So you're healthy and working. So I like that report, Mendez.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gavin.
Yeah. Hey, Gavin, what have you been up to? We haven't heard from you in a while. You doing okay?
I'm all right.
You doing all right? Well, I'm glad to hear it. What's the latest where you're at?
Well, I started a new job as a cook, and I work from 4 to 9 every night, so that's fun.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's the man.
Yeah, where are you working at, Gavin?
That's a.
Charlie's Chicken right now, but I don't plan on working there too much longer.
Okay, well, I've had several students work at Charlie's Chicken. That's a great place. I like their chicken chunks. And some pretty good stuff. Well, good for you.
Better.
Yeah. And Abby's
But
still at the snow cone?
Yep.
Is Abby still at the snow cone stand?
Yes.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So yeah, you're still at the snow cone?
Yes. I am.
All right. What's your favorite flavor?
I don't know. All of them. They're so good. Probably birthday cake.
Birthday.
You have a birthday cake flavor.
That's some good stuff.
I did not really have a birthday cake flavor there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Have you
Ace,
been?
what have you been up to? Haven't
No, I
seen
have
you
not.
in a while.
I'm gonna have to fix that.
Working.
Where are we working at?
I'm working at the coffee shop in Veneta.
In,
Oh,
in
neat.
Miami?
In Veneta.
In Bonita. What coffee shop?
The coffee shelter.
Coffee shelter. Okay. Is that a new place? I don't know that place.
It's been there for like 2 years now.
Okay, we'll have to go over and check it
They
out.
replaced the old brick fire pizza place.
Okay. I'm going to go check it out then. All right. Well, good deal. Well, you think we ought to get rolling here? Think so? Okay. Well, this week we're going to talk about sustainability. So do you guys know that word? Anybody know
Yep.
that word? Okay, tell me what it is, somebody.
The ability to sustain something like a garden.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? There's lots of definitions. Anybody else wanna say what they think? Okay, well, it is the ability to meet a current need without compromising future needs. What do you think about that? So resources that we're gonna use up, that's gonna be a problem at some point, isn't it? Think so? Yeah, okay. So well, let's talk about a couple of questions then. Okay, so working in the restaurant industry, what are some things that restaurants can do that could help with sustainability? Anybody? Thomas, what do you think?
Well, first off, is that like my sound started to cut off a little bit? Am I repeating the question?
Yes. What are some things that restaurants can do to keep sustainability in mind? How can they do their part to sustain our future?
They could like grow their own herbs in like a garden.
Excellent. Yeah. So they could have their food miles be closer to home, so they're not having to go a long ways to get food, so we're not paying gas and shipping and all of that. So yes, great answer, Tommy. Okay, anybody else?
I had an idea.
Okay, what?
They could compost some of the unusable bits. That way they don't have to pay so much in like fertilizer and such to grow their herbs.
Fantastic. Of course. Yes, Curtis. So there are some restaurants that do just that, and they will either have their own composting program, or they will give or sell their leftover food products to someone that's going to do that. And so yes, that's a great way that we can help. And you know, compost is called black gold. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, and compost is a wonderful way to enrich your garden soil and to help your plants grow strong. Right? Yeah, fantastic. Okay.
Yep.
So anybody think of anyone want to contribute any other ways that restaurants can practice sustainability? Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on to the next.
Oh, I have an idea.
Okay. What?
I have an idea. They grow their, like they raise their own meat. Like they raise their own pigs, chickens, and such.
Well,
Yeah, but if it's in the city, I don't think that would work.
yeah, it could be.
Where would they keep them?
Yeah, it could be a little
Fair
problematic
point.
with that. So, well, think about, having these sustainability practices like, what if we quit using styrofoam to-go containers? What would happen to
Yeah,
our?
like use
work.
biodegradable ones.
What would happen? What, Tommy?
We could use like biodegradable ones to make it easier on the environment.
Correct. Yes, of course. There's
Yeah.
lots of,
That's what we do with the frozen elephant.
it is. Okay.
We got new cups that are biodegradable.
Fantastic. I love hearing that. So if you
Does that mean
compare
I can
if you compare the cost of like a styrofoam cup to a biodegradable cup, I wonder what the difference is. Do you think the biodegradable cup is more expensive, Abby?
It's extremely more expensive.
Yes. And so what happens to your profit margin?
I keep
It goes
turning
down.
it off.
You're saving the environment. It don't matter.
Well, when you talk about dollars and cents in your bank account, it may matter, Ace.
Yes,
Um,
but
You have to raise prices of other things. to
Okay,
make
so
up
you'd
for
have
it.
to make some adjustments. That's right, Abby. So being environmentally responsible, partly it depends on who your customer is, right? Are they willing to pay a little bit more to be able to use an environmentally responsible product, right?
I would be.
So yeah, maybe, but definitely would take a bite out of your profits if your profit margin is not really big to begin with. And restaurants are notorious for having a pretty small profit margin, right? So it's a tough call. I mean, everybody wants to do right by the environment, but we also know that at the end of the month, we would like to have a little bit of money in our bank account too, right? Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough. Okay, who knows what the EPA is? You guys heard of that before? EPA?
Environmental Protection Agency.
Excellent, Curtis. Very good. So who knows what the
I know
environmental
that from the Simpsons movie.
who knows what the Environmental Protection Agency does? Gavin, what does the EPA do?
They mainly just regulate what happens with like certain environments, like say there's like an endangered species in one, they'll try to protect that basically as much as they can, and they'll try to just keep sustainability within the environment to where it can thrive and everything else can too.
Okay, that's a great answer, Gavin. So they're looking for that kind of place where businesses can survive, but where the environment is going to be harmed the least amount possible. And so it's kind of that balancing act of things that we absolutely shouldn't do and things that we really need to do. And it is. Well, do you think that the regulations that the EPA puts out, do you think those are affected by politics? Mendez?
Oh,
what do
very
you
much so,
think?
yes.
Oh, sorry, Gavin. Okay, yeah. Mendez, what do you think?
Marvel.
Mendez, are you there, hon? Click the little red mic.
That better?
Yes, we can hear you now. So do you think
Okay.
that the policies that the EPA creates, do you think those are affected by politics in any way?
Yes, I believe they are. Politics have a sway on just about anything and about everything.
Yes.
Um, from environmental to business stature and economy. It's just who you are and what power you have to it.
Exactly right. And so it's just like with right now, our current debate, like with our coronavirus situation, is should we reopen for, retail businesses right now, or should we remain closed? And the small business owners are really suffering, but we're not sure that, letting people mill about freely, if that's going to be bad as far as health for other people. So it's a real kind of a toss up, and it has to do a lot with politics and who's hollering the loudest, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Do you think that some of it is based on fact or politics? I mean, that's kind of what we're asking, is things that we are things that we hear from the EPA, are they fact-based or are they politic-based? Sometimes it leaves us to wonder, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about water for a minute. So does everybody need water?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's going to happen if we don't have water?
Well, this wouldn't be a planet. Well, first.
That's right. Yeah. So we need water. We need to be able to get water, have water, drink water, and use water. And it needs to be healthy water, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of important. So what about water conservation? What's the deal with that? Why is that important?
Well, the Great Lakes are drying up. Glaciers are melting, which provide us with amounts of gallons and millions of fresh water.
Mm-hmm.
When that's all gone, we have no sustainable, clean source of water, and that's no good.
Okay, that's right on, Jaden. Okay, so things about, crops and animals, if they don't have the water they need, what happens to them?
They usually
They
die.
die.
They die. Okay, and what happens if us as humans, if we don't have crops and water, what happens to us?
We die.
We die.
So none of those are good scenarios, are they?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So
Why do we all just even die?
so whenever in the hot summertime, whenever water becomes limited, think about areas that are pretty hot and dry anyway. Places like Arizona, and then there's places in New Mexico and places in Texas where in the summertime it's really hot and dry, and they limit water usage, where people don't water their yards, for instance, or people don't do things with water that maybe we would take for granted here, living so near a lake. Does that sound? And what would happen in those areas, say like in the desert, like around Las Vegas, if there was no more water?
Water drought.
Yeah. So what would happen to the businesses there if there was no water?
They'd have no business.
There would be no business. That's right. So we are completely dependent on that. What about the ability to put out a fire if there's no water?
It's gonna be harder.
Forest fires. So there's no way to deal with that. Okay. So I think I saw on. Have you guys ever heard of this? There is a place that used to be a lake. I think it's in Arizona, and then the lake dried up, and now it's just like a. Have you ever heard of that before? It was a thriving community. It was centered on the lake.
Yeah.
And the lake dried up. I wish I could think of the name of where that was and where I'd seen it, because it was pretty interesting. But it just it dried up.
I saw it on an Earth Unsolved Mysteries episode.
Okay. Well, I can't remember where I saw it,
I
but
can't
it was
remember what it was called though.
quite interesting.
Which
Yeah.
reminded me of holes.
Yeah, holes. I was thinking holes.
It was what?
I was thinking
There's a
of
movie called Holes.
It's a
Holes.
great movie.
Oh, yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's what made me think of.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Can you
here.
make us watch Holes?
Yeah.
That's a
No.
good movie.
No. Okay. So, okay. Here's a question I want you guys to think about. So, think about how much water you use in a day. And you might not be able to think of that in gallons, but think about how much you use. Like if you take a bath or a shower, how much water is that?
A lot.
A lot. Like 20 gallons, 30 gallons, you think?
Maybe a
Yeah.
little less. Probably around there, yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Think about, well, every time you flush the commode, how many gallons is that?
A liter or two. Less than a gallon.
So at least a gallon, and if you have a low flow, but sometimes if you have the regular one, that's more like 5, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And what about like washing clothing? How many gallons do you think that takes?
20-something gallons at least.
Quite a bit.
Several.
Yeah, several. What about, do you guys have a dishwasher at home? If you have a dishwasher, I wonder how much that uses.
By
I do
hand.
Or even
And-
if you run it in the sink, that's probably several gallons, isn't it? Yeah.
I think
Anybody?
mine's a 1
Yeah,
gallon
but-
sink.
Yeah. Anybody water the yard?
No.
So we got rain for that.
We got rain for
Yep.
that. Yeah, that's how I am. I can have rain for that. Okay. So, okay, well, the bathtub,
I have a bike on water.
washing dishes, that's probably what?
Watering my Barry, Gary.
Watering what?
Watering Barry, and Gary.
Okay.
I named my berry plants.
Okay. All right. So, so we probably use at least 50, and some of us maybe more like 100 gallons a day. You think? Does that sound? What do you think?
Yeah.
That's a lot. What do you think if you had to carry that water? Would you use 100 gallons a day?
No.
No. So we are kind of reckless with how we're spending the use of our water, aren't we? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes a lot of difference, doesn't it?
Hey, Bella.
Okay. So, all right, so let's talk about, can you think of any restaurants or food service operations that talk about sustainability or conservation? That address it in some fashion or another?
Mm.
I'm sure there's one somewhere.
I know. Well, I was thinking about like maybe the packaging of some fast food type things where they have moved maybe from styrofoam to paper. Can you
Yeah.
think of some of those maybe?
McDonald's.
Pardon me?
They used to use styrofoam. Now
Uh-huh.
they use paper wrappings for their burger.
Okay, so it's a
Their
little,
burgers.
okay, a little more
Yeah.
biodegradable perhaps. Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. What about, anybody ever been to Whole Foods?
I have not.
No. I don't think nobody's that afraid of GMOs.
Well,
Who's a fancy?
if you get the chance, it's a fun place to go just to look around. And when you go there, you'll notice some of the packaging on their products will be
What are you doing?
compostable or biodegradable. So, and it's more like
Yeah.
a grocery store though, but they do sell pre-made food there as well. Well, can you think of some other, maybe some technology or other ways that restaurants can be conservative or practice sustainability?
Mm.
But
I ain't got nothing.
we were talking earlier about, somebody brought up, I think it was Curtis, that said that we might grow our own herbs, or was that Tommy that said that we might grow our own herbs and things?
I believe it was Tommy, I think.
It was Tommy. Okay,
That
so
was Tommy.
okay, so food miles. So does anybody know what that means? Kevin, I haven't heard from you today. What are food miles?
Bella, what are you doing? Get out of there.
I'm sorry, couldn't hear that. I do not know at the moment, sir.
Food miles. Do you know what food miles are? Kevin? Push the little microphone.
The distance food is
What was
transported.
that?
I'm sorry?
The distance food is
What'd you ask?
transported.
That's exactly right. So, hey, Mikey. So yes, food miles are the amount of miles that they are going from where they are grown or where they're processed to the place that you're going to sell it. And so, and it uses a lot of resources to get it there. So it's traveling on a truck, probably a refrigerated truck. And so, and it probably has some packaging, whereas maybe if you bought it at the farm stand, it probably was grown very near where they're selling it. So it's cheaper in food miles. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mikey, I'm so glad you're here. Good morning.
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
No worries. Just glad to see your face today. All right. Well, good deal. Well, let's talk some more about sustainability here. How about why do you think the United States uses the most energy as any other country in the world?
Because we're selfish.
Well, partly, maybe.
It makes sense.
I'm sorry?
I said it makes sense.
Okay. So maybe, buildings and the places that we built, I mean, they wouldn't be sustainable if we didn't have, people wouldn't be able to live there if we didn't have electricity running to them and water going to them, and
Yeah.
all of that takes electricity and power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
We use electricity all of our lives at any time, so.
Yeah, think about even like our homes. I mean, if the power's off, would your home be the same? No, what would change?
There'll be no internet, and my sister would go crazy.
There would be no internet. Okay, but what else? What else would happen?
Same with my mom.
It would be dark.
It would be dark, and it would depend.
No water either.
No water.
Wouldn't be able to refrigerate food.
Couldn't refrigerate or cook, probably.
Yeah.
Unless you had gas stove, I guess. Yeah. So it could definitely be very different. So, okay. So if you had to convert, let's say we were taking a project, we had to convert your house to a renewable energy source.
Solar powered.
What would you do? What would you choose?
Solar power. I mean, I'm on a hill in the sun 24/7 years
Yeah.
of the day.
Cool.
I could dead ass. So
Yeah, solar. Because it's sunny most of the time. Well, I guess when it's not. I guess when it's raining or something, it's maybe not too sunny. But a big percent of the time it is. So do you think, I wonder what if it would be cost prohibitive to do that? I wonder how long it would take you to break even or for it to not be so expensive, I guess.
Few years.
A few years, you think? So, but in the
Yeah,
long run, you think it would be a savings?
Yeah, because they'll pay you for extra energy you don't use.
Oh my
God.
Yeah. So very interesting. Okay. So it's a thought. It's getting to be a more and more realistic too, because I think that technology is getting better and better, don't you?
Yep.
I think so too. So okay. Well, so do you think that using a resource like that, let's say solar, for instance, do you think that it would be cost saving right off the bat?
Nope.
Because solar panels are expensive.
They are very expensive.
Be expensive to get started. So do you think that could be a problem, just the startup of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Getting there. I mean, once you're there, it's different than having it over time. Okay. So, well, let's say we just want to start practicing conservation around the house. What are some things you could do?
Keep the lights off in the daytime.
Okay, so turn the lights off when you're not using them or in the daytime. Okay, what else?
Don't run the water too much.
Oh, be conscious of water being on, like when you're brushing your teeth. Do you leave the water running the whole time, or do you turn it off?
No, turn it off.
You turn it off in between. Okay. What? Let's see.
You could unplug certain devices when you're not using them.
I'm sorry.
That's a good one.
Unplug certain devices when you're not using them.
Oh yeah, because even if they're not on, they're still using energy, aren't they, Mike? Yeah, like your cell phone chargers, if you leave those plugged in, they're still using electricity. Did you know
that? I did not.
Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you.
All right. What about
with me? Thank you for
All
sharing that knowledge with me.
Well, there you go. We try to be informed so you can be informed. Okay, so commercial buildings, like a building a restaurant is in. Why did those buildings use so much energy?
They have so many appliances that need to be on in order for everything to work properly.
Okay, so think about refrigerators, for instance, like our refrigerator at school, like our big walk-in that we have, and then that one that sits on the wall over there by the dish pit. Those things have high-powered. They're designed whenever you open the door and shut the door, the compressor kicks on, and so it cools back down really fast, as opposed to like the one that you have at home, that's not opened and closed as much as a commercial one would be. Okay, so and that intense surge uses a lot of energy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and think about like our dish machine, for instance, that the end where it heats up to get the heat up to the right temperature to 180 degrees. That uses a lot of energy, doesn't it, to heat that up that fast, right? Yeah. And what about air conditioning and heating? You think big commercial spaces, are those expensive to heat and cool? Probably so. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. What if you were going to build a building, like let's say a green building? Do you know what that is? Does everybody know what a green building is?
Nope.
Greenhouse?
Renewable resources.
An eco-friendly building?
Yes, an eco-friendly building. Do you know we have one of those on our campus?
Yeah, a greenhouse.
Uh-huh. that it's over on the other side of the pond over there. If you look out our back door, it's the furthest right building. And that building is built with green technology, and it has solar electricity in there. Yeah. And so, we were talking about, if you wanted to convert your house to solar, it might cost quite a bit. But what if you built the house originally with those things in mind? Would that be more cost effective?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you are going to build one and you use that type of technology to begin with, that would definitely be a good thing to do. So, restaurants, whenever they're building them, it could be a good way to get that to happen. So something to think about anyway. Okay. All right. So let's talk about food waste and waste management for just a minute. So why do you think so much food, commercial food is thrown away?
It's not appeasing.
It's what?
Or it's oddly shaped, or it doesn't fit the definition of correct fruit or food.
Okay.
Like vegetables.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like aesthetically pleasing.
Odd.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
That
right.
and people don't ever finish plates all the time.
And
Yeah.
people what?
Don't finish their meals all the time.
Okay, so our
Mhm.
portion sizes maybe are too big. Okay. What about like at the end of let's see, at the end of the shift, whenever it's time to go home and there's food left, what happens to that?
And normally gets thrown away.
Probably gets thrown away. Okay.
Or workers take it with them.
Or the workers take it home. Okay, well that might be a better solution. Okay. So it may be that we're preparing too much, or it just didn't sell, or do you think we waste food just as people in general? Do you have by I'm going to cook with this bell pepper and these carrots, and then 2 weeks later you're throwing them away because you didn't use them? Does that happen sometimes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does that happen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's, I don't know why that is. Do you know why that is? Is it just because it's available and we can buy it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Are we, I don't know, if it's easy to come by maybe and not terribly expensive perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like that water, if we were having to carry it in gallon jugs on our head, it might be a little different, right? If we grow all that produce in our garden, then perhaps it might be a different situation, right? Yeah. So why do you think Americans throw away so much paper and aluminum?
Because we can't eat it.
Okay. Why? Think about your last drive-through at a fast food establishment.
Well, I believe it's because once we've used it, people don't often think, well, let me use this for something else. They'll just discard it as something that's been used already.
Okay, so we just throw it in the trash. Okay.
Yeah.
What about like soda cans, like aluminum cans? Do you guys recycle those or throw them away?
Give them to.
We recycle them.
Recycle? Yeah. Yeah. So some places, there may not be a place that's nearby where you live that you can take the recycling to. And so sometimes that's why people don't do it. And the paper, like a hamburger wrapper, what are you going to do with that paper?
Compost.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have a place or a way to compost, yes, Ace. But if you don't, then or you don't know how to compost, that could be a problem too, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So so think about, can you think of some ways, if we were a restaurant and we had food left over at the end of our shift, what are some things we could do with it?
Eat it.
Get to eat it, yes.
For employees.
Give it to
Actually-
the employees.
When I was working at the pizza place, we'd take, like, if we had any leftover pizzas or, like, any mistake pizzas, we'd take it to the hospital.
Oh, that's so nice. Okay, so you could donate it to
Yeah.
someplace. Okay. All right. What else could we do?
Fly. See you, dog. You're a fly. You're a dog.
So donating it is an excellent thing, but do you think you would have to follow all of the food safety procedures still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it would still have to be in temperature. It would still have to be within a certain time frame, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so, because
Yep.
you're still responsible for it, even though you're donating it, if you kept it and there was something wrong and you made somebody sick with it, how would that go?
You
Not
might
very
get-
well.
Yeah. So it's tough to donate everything because there's still all those food safety things that go with it. So some places choose not to donate it and just throw it away for worry of what might happen to the food. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So waste, so throwing stuff away, okay, we know it's expensive in that we made the food and we had to put it in the trash so we didn't make the money on it, right? What other ways is that food expensive?
Traveling stuff we order. Because certain meats are more expensive than others.
Okay. So not only did we lose the money and the product, but there's some other things that were happening too in that the effort it took to get that product to us was lost, right? The effort it took to prepare was lost. So I mean, there's a lot of costs in just throwing something away. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes it's not just money. Okay. Well, some things that can you think of some things that if you owned a restaurant, what would you do? What would you do to reduce or to help with your part of sustainability? If you owned a restaurant, what would you do?
Don't prep as much if it's consistently there's too much. Don't prep as much.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So you're watching at the end of the shift, you're seeing what you have left over.
Yeah.
And so you're watching that. And probably as you're in business, Ace, over time, you'll keep records, historical records that tell about your sales and what you sold, each season, maybe even daily, through your point of sale system. So you could really get a great idea about
Cook when it's ordered.
how much to prepare, right? Definitely. Okay, so that's a great idea. Okay, think of some things what are some things that you put in the trash can that you could compost?
Banana peels and other skins of fruits and stuff.
Okay, so fruits and vegetables for sure, yes. Okay, so what about,
Eggshells.
pardon?
Eggshells.
Eggshells, yep.
Grounds.
Coffee grounds, good, excellent. So what are some, if you were going to compost or recycle, what would be some benefits or some reasons why you would want to do that?
You don't have to buy like potting soil and stuff. You can just use your compost to fertilize your plants.
Exactly. Okay, so there's that.
Well, that and to like reduce the amount that's in landfills and stuff, because that's detrimental on our environment.
Okay, so it might not be a particularly profitable thing, but it's an environmentally friendly thing. So it depends on how you feel about that, your commitment to it. Okay. So why do you think some restaurants maybe what prevents restaurants from recycling? What do you think prevents restaurants from recycling?
Probably OSHA.
OSHA. Well, OSHA is the people watchdog that helps take care of the people.
Too much work for them.
I'm sorry, Mendez.
It's too much work for them. Some people are just too lazy
Okay.
to actually care.
Okay, so it could just be difficult. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They may not have a container to put it in, or may not know, or have a place to take it. If they don't have a garden, that could be a problem, right? What about trying to get someone, maybe like a local farmer, to pick it up? Could you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be
You
something.
could also order like special bins and stuff.
Beg pardon, Mikey?
You could order special bins and stuff. Like replace your regular restaurant trash cans with like recycling bins and then take them out.
Okay,
day.
that's a great idea. So, do you were in your town where you live? Do you have access to recycling? I mean, is there a place for you to take things to recycle?
Yeah.
Ace, where do you take your stuff?
There's a recycling place literally like right next door to me right now.
Cool. Okay. All right, Mendez, is there one near you?
No. I live in a hill. There's trees. That's it.
Okay.
We got nothing.
All right, Kevin, what about you? Do you guys recycle? Is there some place where you can take your things?
I just have a little garden out back.
Okay. So are you doing compost then?
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay. Okay. So, you know, it depends on where you live. If you have the ability to do it, a place to keep it, you know, some place for it to go, some place, you know, there really doesn't do a lot of help to keep cans if there's no place for you to take the aluminum cans to get rid of them, right? And so I can see how, you know, there's lots of things like that could be barriers to people being able to recycle. Okay. So let's see here. So is anybody who composts? Kevin said he composts. Mendez, do you compost?
I compost.
Oh, Ace does? Okay, good. Mikey, do you compost?
I've composted before. I don't do it on a regular basis.
Okay. So I've been doing that a little bit too, and it's amazing over just a day how much stuff collects that you can compost. Have you noticed that? Like coffee grounds, for instance. So there's one pot of coffee a day, so I have those grounds. And then Curtis said eggs or eggshells, right? Peels from fruits and vegetables for sure. And what about meat scraps? Can you compost that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
No, you're not really supposed to do meat scraps. So, or things like oil and things like that. I think partly because it attracts animals and it makes for a problem. So,
That's why you keep a gun.
okay, good to know. All right. So, okay, well, we talked about food miles, right? And that's how far it takes to get to.
Oh, and a way you can recycle meat is certain dog food companies or organizations will take excess meat and use their stuff to make dog food.
That's disgusting.
Okay, well, you know.
Well, they make it safe.
Well, now cattle, you know, sometimes unfortunately you'll have cattle that are not that may die, and so sometimes you will see trucks that will collect that, and then that definitely goes for animal food. And so there are definitely used for things like that. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about here? Anybody else have questions? Okay, well, let's think about this. Is there something that you could do today to help with sustainability just right now at your house?
I could make coffee.
And save the coffee grounds?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. But are you going to drink the coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Me
well,
and my mom are drinking.
Okay, yeah, if you drink the
Possibly
coffee, then that could work. Save the grounds. Okay. So is it who knows the composting process? Have you guys done that before?
Oh.
Because there's
Did when
active.
I was younger.
Pardon me.
I said I did when I was younger.
Okay, so you know there's active composting and then there's passive composting. Did you know that? So active means that you're putting it in a pile deliberately and you're layering it with the green matter and the brown matter, and it's watered and aerated and turned. Passive means that you just have this pile and it just is set there until it starts to break down. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways you can do it. And if you're wanting it to happen fast, you use the active and you keep turning it to get the oxygen and the moisture. And it takes about 3 months.
That's what we did at Lindemann Gardens one time.
Yeah, to turn it, yeah. So it takes about 3 months to get some good compost start to finish. And so it's a process, but it certainly is a great way to cut down on the amount of things that you're throwing away and to get some of that really great stuff for your garden. Okay.
And do you remember that skills fair we went to where they had the pots made out of newspaper?
Do I remember what, honey?
The skills fair thing we went to where they had the plants with the newspaper.
Oh, that was at the Wyandotte when we went over to the job fair, wasn't it? Yeah, that's wonderful, because that is the way to use a newspaper and paper that would have otherwise just been thrown away, and it's biodegradable because you can just plant it right in the garden like that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a really great use of resources. So yeah, that was a fun trip, wasn't it? Maybe we can do that again, I hope. I'm ready to not be stuck at home. How about you? Okay. All right. Well, that's probably about the end of our lesson for today as far as sustainability goes. I put you some stuff out there on Moodle. Have you guys been on Moodle? Yes, no. Okay.
A little.
Okay. Well, this week I put you, there's a video on there that I showed you how I was planting seeds and growing seeds, and you know, I took that video about probably 2 weeks ago, and yesterday I started planting things out, and so I've got beans planted yesterday, and in that video there's cabbage and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and they are gigantic now. They have grown so much.
Oh wow.
And then I had spinach and carrots and lettuce, and those two have really grown considerably. And so that's been a fun project to watch the garden change with the seasons. And so anyway, but that little video's on there. Your assignment, what I want you to do, you have 2 choices on your assignment. One of them is to create a garden, a kitchen garden. Okay. And then the other one is to research what a victory garden is. And you guys ever heard of a victory garden?
No.
Okay. Well, get on there, and that's your assignment is you're going to create a garden either way, but you have a couple of choices for the way that you're going to do it. Okay. And I've left that portal open so if you do it on paper, you can upload it and like as a Word document, you can upload it and send it to me. If you draw it out, just take a picture of it with your phone and you can send it to me through Moodle.
Wait, so we have to physically make a garden?
No. You could. That's one of the choices. If you have a garden place, if you want to and you're doing it, then yes, show me what you're doing and how you're doing it. If you don't have one, there's lots of ways you can do one digitally, or you can just draw it out on graph paper. But just show me your ideas. Okay, think about it. But some of you guys, I think Kevin said he's got one. So if you have a garden, Curtis, do you guys have a garden?
Does my collection of berry plants count?
Well, it could. But get on there.
It's all in one planter.
Yeah. And there's even things just like a patio garden, like salsa garden that's just all in one pot, like tomatoes and peppers all growing at once. And so get on there and look at the assignment. And I think that you ought to be able to get that whipped out. And you have the whole week to do it. So there's something called square foot gardening, which it talks about that within the assignment. And it talks about making a 12 by 12 plot. And if you get on, I saw a bunch of resources for that on Pinterest. And if you'll type in square foot gardening, it talks about how many plants you can fit per your 12 by 12 square. And you can get a lot of ideas there. Southern Living magazine, if you go to southernliving.com, they have a gardening section and they talk about a lot of things like that. And then, what's that one called? Grit magazine. I think it has a lot of farming techniques and things like that. So there's a lot of resources out there where you can find ideas, okay? Everybody know what to do?
Does it have to be 12 by 12 perfectly? Or?
Well, you don't have to actually make it, Abby. You're just going to draw it out like on graph paper.
Yeah,
or
I know.
something. Yeah.
But if I measure it by like inches, like does it have to be perfect 12 by 12? Or can it be
No,
a
it was
different
just
shape?
a suggestion. Just a suggestion. But get on there and read the directions. If you guys are confused or don't know what to do, you can always call me, text me, and or we can Zoom or FaceTime if you're confused. I'm happy to talk to you about it and walk you through it. So whatever you need, okay? So is everybody okay? Everything going good and got what you need? And yeah, everybody's okay?
Mm-hmm. It's in Culinary Sandbox, right?
Yes, everything's under Culinary Sandbox.
Okay.
Mendez, are you doing okay, hon?
Yeah, actually, Bella, my pup I told you about, she's actually okay. Yeah, we took her to the vet Monday morning. And I don't know what it was. It might have been something. It was something malignant, and they cut it out, cut it open, drained the blood from it, and now she's fine. She's up and playing outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, she seems fine.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
I'm glad
good.
to hear it, Mendez. I know that's so hard when animals are sick.
Oh yes.
Well, I'm glad she's better. My rooster's much better too.
That's good.
Yeah, I know.
That's good.
I'm happy about that. He was crowing yesterday for the first time in about a week, so I'm happy about that.
Well, yeah, she's playing outside with a ball and the other dog, so yeah, she's doing good. That's what
good. I'm glad
I wish
to hear
Rooster
it.
on the ranch was there better.
What, Ace?
So I wish Rooster on the ranch was doing better.
Oh, poor Rooster.
Oh. Well, what else, guys? Anything else going on I can help you with? Kevin?
What about the project that we had turned in?
So get on Moodle, and you have two choices about gardening, and you're supposed to
Oh,
do a little research, and then submit your idea. And since you already have a garden going, you could probably describe it or use it. Okay.
I couldn't figure out how
about
to
the
do
last
the
week's project?
Julia
I mean,
crossword.
What, Kevin?
last week's project about the bees and stuff. How do we check the grade on that thing, or what? How the progress of that?
I don't think I've got everything posted yet, but I had several people that turned those in. There's a few of you I'm still waiting on. But anyway, we're making progress on that. Okay. Mikey, what'd you say, honey?
How do you do the Julia and Julia or Julie and Julia crossword puzzle thing?
Does it let you fill in the blanks there?
I don't know. It's just like it's all separated, and I wasn't quite sure how to do it because it didn't look like a regular crossword puzzle. It just
I think it has, you use the glossary questions or the glossary words to fill in the blanks with the questions it asks you. And if you can write down the glossary words and then open up the crossword puzzle, I think it will ask you those questions in there. Did anybody else do the crossword puzzle from last week?
I was able to do it.
Okay.
I barely, but yeah.
Isn't that how it worked? You looked in the glossary and then you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look in the glossary, Mikey. And it helps if you can print out that glossary, or if you can just write down the words and their definitions and then go to the crossword puzzle, and it will help you so you don't have to keep flipping back and forth.
I just took pictures of it. That helped too.
Oh, hey, that's a great idea. Use your technology, take a picture of it. Yeah. Good work, Mendez. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any other questions?
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Any culinary, semi-culinary, I guess. Anything about our
That's
lessons
it.
at hand?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay. Ace, you good?
What is the meaning of life?
That was a good question.
Abby, are you doing okay, hon? Anything you need to know?
No, I think I'm good.
You're all right. All right, Kevin, you think of anything else?
What's the plan for next week?
Well, more of the same. Let's see what's on the agenda for next week. Looks like, Italy.
Is it underwater now?
Excuse me?
I said, isn't that country underwater?
Italy?
Yeah.
They're still afloat. They're still afloat.
Oh, barely. Yeah, barely.
Yeah, I think Venice was. I think there was some things in the news about Venice starting to sink, but I think they're using some engineering techniques to try to remedy that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about? All right. Well, I'm gonna hang out here, but I guess we can be done for the day. So I'm really glad I got to see everybody and talk to you. I hope everything's going great. And you let me know if I can help you. You can always text me, call me, or we can FaceTime or whatever if you need something, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
Later. Bye, everybody. Bye. See you later. Kevin, you doing okay?
Can I FaceTime you one on